Bitwit's coverage of CES 2018 is brought to you by Fantex and CableMod. Click the links in the description below for more info. All right, InWin. Let's talk about InWin. InWin was cool because they were actually on the show floor. I got to go to the convention center and stuff and get out of the hotels for a moment there. But InWin usually has like a new case or two at their CES booth. And it's usually like a high-end tower that, you know, costs a lot of money and usually has some cool, neat, weird features that may or may not be useful. So let's take a look at one such tower. They're 915. This is the first time they've unveiled it, to my knowledge. It's got aluminum construction, very curvy front and rear panels. They're sort of symmetrical, I guess, on either end, and it looks interesting. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about the aesthetic here. According to InWin, the front fans are supposed to get its intake from the bottom. And it looks pretty tight though. Like, I don't know, it doesn't look like any air is getting through there at all. So maybe I'm missing something, or this might just not be a great performer in the airflow department. Now the rear panel is kind of interesting because it's got these large cutouts so that you can route cables through, but those cutouts aren't big enough for you to actually stick your hand in there unless you're, you know, a little kid or something like that, to actually plug things in and unplug them from your rear I/O. So there's actually two thumb screws on the side that you can remove, and that will allow you to sort of remove the rear panel and access all those ports. But it just seems kind of a pain in the butt, if you ask me. Additionally, we've got a button that pops open the top panel for ventilation. It's automatic, so it's electric. It automatically goes up and down, depending on whether you turn the system on or shut it down. Actually, if you shut the system down, it'll leave the vent open for a short period of time just to let some of the hot air exhaust out of the case, which is a really nice feature. It automatically will obviously go up once you power the system on. If that's your preference, it'll remember that for the next time you boot. And it's got addressable LEDs, of course, because why not? There's a toolless tempered glass side panel, which can be removed with a safety catch, so it doesn't actually fall out and shatter all over the place. It'll just kind of sit there and wait for you to fully take it off and put it somewhere safe. There are no fans included with this guy because I guess the idea here is that enthusiasts who are spending X amount on a case like this are going to want to go in and add their own fans and radiators anyway. Makes sense. There's also a 360 radiator that can be put at the front or the top of the case, both simultaneously, and the top actually is sort of segregated. There's like a top chamber really for your fans and radiators that will isolate them from the rest of the system. It's kind of interesting. You get a power supply chamber that underneath houses four 3.5-inch or 2.5-inch trays. You can mount either drive to any of those. There's also four 2.5-inch drive trays located behind the motherboard tray that are held in place with single thumb screws, so very easy to access and install. I didn't quite catch the availability or pricing of this case, but based on all the features and the construction and what we've seen from InWin cases like this in the past, this is definitely going to be, well, let's just say it won't be cheap, to put it simply. The A1 is their next case. We actually got a glimpse of this, or an earlier version of this, at Computex last year. It's a mini ITX case, but it can house full-size components like a full-length GPU or even like a CPU cooler tower. For example, the front panel has a power button, dual USB 3 and audio jacks. Interestingly enough, we get a tempered glass top panel, and there's two models here. One that's just a tempered glass panel, and another one that actually has an integrated wireless Qi charger. So you can pretty much charge any supported Qi supported device wirelessly. That's super cool. Retailing for $139 for the non-Qi version and $159 for having that Qi wireless technology built in. So kind of a steep price for a mini ITX case, but also some interesting features. We also get a tempered glass side panel with a toolless sort of push pin, pull pin removal. It's actually really cute. It's the most adorable tempered glass side panel I've ever seen. We get an included 600-watt power supply that's 80+ bronze certified, and 600 watts is enough power to drive pretty much any main desktop graphics card on the market, so that is splendid. We also have an RGB LED strip that's sort of located in the transparent base. It's kind of interesting, which can connect to any RGB header on your motherboard, for example. You can control it through Asus Aorus Sync, MSI Mystic Light, Aorus RGB Fusion, etc. Or if you don't have an RGB header on your motherboard, sad face, it will default to red. So, hope you like red. Also, no fans are included in this case either. However, you get a 120 mount at the back of the case, one on the side, kind of towards the front to the right of where the motherboard's mounted, and two 120 mounts at the bottom, actually located underneath the GPU, which I'm glad they focused on airflow for the graphics card in a case that's sort of like rocking this design. Otherwise, it could get pretty toasty in there for our sad little card. There's also a removable mesh dust filter down there, so you can take it out and clean it anytime it gets dirty. I should also point out that apart from having a Qi or a non-Qi supported model, you can also get this case in either black or white, so there's a bit of options there, a few options there for your personal preference, and that's pretty much it. I have no idea when this case comes out, some point later this year. I forgot to ask, or I don't remember, or whatever, but be on the lookout for it soon. Let me know what you think of the 915 as well in the comments below. Feel free to toss me a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and get subscribed to the channel for more tech stuff coming at you really soon, right here from CES 2018. Have a good one, guys. I will see y'all in the next video.